Live.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 11th episode of the MakerCast. Today we have Seon. In fact, I'll do it in the alphabetical order. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 11th. I can hear myself somewhere. Today we have Seon. In fact, who's... I don't know what's going on. I've ruined it. Anyway, basically, we've got Seon, we've got Liz, we've got Bitluni, and Steve, and we're going to be talking about. It's really confusing me. It's like I can't talk and hear myself at the same time.
Somebody's got their YouTube video not on mute.
It's really confusing me. Sorry, everyone. Hello to the chat. I can see lots of familiar faces in there. I'm going to find out who it is. Hang on a minute. I'm going to mute you all one at a time. Sorry, everyone. Hello to the chat. I can see lots. Bitluni. I've gone through and muted every one of you, and it's you. Where is it?
You know he likes to see himself on TV.
Is it me?
Yes, it's you. Every one of you, and it's okay. Sorry, everyone. Hello. We are back once again. The MakerCast happens on a Sunday, the first Sunday of every month, and we all come in here and have a little chat about what we've been making, what we plan. We are. Looney!
Where is it? I can't find the window.
We all come in here and have a little chat about what we've been making, what we plan.
That's creepy.
All right, I'm muting Bitluni for a minute while I shout at him through his stream. So we come on here and have a chat about what we're making, what we plan to make in the future, and just stuff that's happened to us over the last month or so. And we have lots of different people that come in and talk to us. Last time I think we had Jerry Ellsworth on, which is a really nice treat, but today we've got this load of vagabonds here. So starting off, we're going to have it. Seon, have you fixed yourself? Seon, no, sorry, Bitluni. But today we've got this. No, he's not muted. Right. I mean, I think I can kick him from the studio, but we'll leave him there because he looks a nice little elf, isn't he? So today,
send him back to America.
Today we're going to start with Steve. Steve, can you tell us what you've been up to?
Well, since I've been on, I've been up to all sorts. Hello. But yeah, in the last month or so, I've been very busy doing lots of projects and things. Just nothing on video. First, do you want me just to go straight into what I've been doing? Yeah,
absolutely.
When there's no intros or anything, it's a bit off-putting.
Oh, wait. Hang on a minute. Come back, everyone. Wait. You're right. We didn't do the intros, did we?
You threw me off. You threw me completely off.
Do you know what? Basically, YouTube team, hello. We only organised like this the other day, so a bit out of practice. Seon, can you introduce yourself and tell me about what you do?
Hey everyone, I'm Seon. Unexpected Maker is my YouTube channel, and I make stuff. I focus mainly on electronics, like designing custom electronics, but also do a lot of laser cutting and 3D printing, and and a lot of coding recently. So the full circle of stuff. That's me.
Liz. It's just going to be the old surprise-o stream, this one.
Wow. Hi, I'm Liz. I have a YouTube channel called Blitz DIY. Much like Seon, I think everyone do a lot of electronics, 3D printing, things like that. So actually, I just did some sewing this afternoon that I'll be talking about too. So yeah.
Steve.
Hello. I'm so unprepared. I am a maker that doesn't seem to make a lot. I'm very much into 3D printing and into electronics and opening lots of stuff from AliExpress. And that is about it. And I love LEDs.
Oh, that's everyone really, isn't it, that can actually contribute to the stream. So should we move on? Let's see what this man has to say. Bitluni, why don't you introduce yourself?
I try. Okay. So I found the source. It was Discord in the background. The stream was running in Discord. I'm not sure how that managed to like the live stream. Okay, so introducing myself, I'm a YouTube maker.
Okay. Great job. That's great.
Classy, David. This is really classy.
I don't think I've ever had a successful one of these. In fact, I saw in the chat just now, John McRae, he says, Han need a script. I'm not sure if that's a Star Wars reference or whether he's saying that I need a script. Probably do. You're right. Anyway, let's continue. Steve, we're going to come back to you. Is that all right? After you told me off and I do the intros.
Yes.
Okay, Steve, tell us about what you've been making. What have you been up to over the last month?
Yeah, the last month or so. Let me just set this up. Hang on. You need a script. Okay.
Does everyone like Steve's headphones, by the way, in the chat? They are beautiful. What did you say they were called again? Spangles?
They're from Smiggle.
Smeagol.
Smiggle. It's
Smaggle.
a UK shop that sells absolute tap for small girls.
Stationary stuff, yeah.
It's supposed to smell of amazing stuff, but it just stinks of Smiggle. It's a certain smell.
I remember when I was a kid, people used to have pens that smelt. Do you remember those?
Yeah,
Yes.
basically that.
Those are great.
And everything's pink, everything's blue.
Edinburgh wrote Smeagol. No, not Smeagol.
They are beautiful. Nice. Smeagol.
Sorry, Steve, you carry on. Apologise for taking...
So first up, I need to show something off that I won. I'm the king of swag, king of blag, as Seon would agree. I'd say if I fell into a barrel full of thumbs, I'd come up sucking something else.
What?
You not know that phrase? No. I'll leave it R-rated. So, I entered a competition. You have to do this full screen, David, because it is big.
Okay, there you go.
So I entered a competition for a 3D printing education place, which is called Create Educate, which I found out was actually based near me, which is in Chorley. And they basically go around, all schools and educational places, teaching them about STEM and STEAM and additive manufacturing. So it was really cool. And I was amazed to find out they were literally like 5 minutes away. And they were giving away a 3D printed Rolls-Royce engine, which is this cool little beauty here. And they picked my name out of a hat to win it.
Oh, God.
It comes apart really easy. I'll show you that. That's a surprise. So it's actually designed by one of the people from Rolls-Royce. He's part of the Rolls-Royce team. What's he called? He's called An. I'm gonna butcher his name. An Duang. He's a Chinese guy. He's on Thingiverse. This is available on Thingiverse. There's various different size models of it. This is like the mini version. He does like a full like breakaway version, which is really cool. This all comes away. Got some bearings, as you can see. Now it pops in.
Oh gosh, that's a nice noise.
Is that good? Scratchy. So yeah, I won that, and I said I would show it off and put out their name. So if you happen to be in the UK and you want to look for someone who will push STEM and STEAM to your kids at school, Create Educate, who are based in Chorley. They're actually a Ultimaker reseller as well. So when we went there to pick up my prize, they showed me a room that was just jam-packed full of Ultimakers, all running away, and I was just like, it's amazing. And it was so hot. It was incredibly hot. It's like all the build plates were going, all the printers were going, and there was this girl sat in there just working away, doing all the models. It was like, you must be just sweating. She was like, yeah. So my middle tier daughter, she came with me, and she's quite into all the manufacturing, so she was very impressed by everything. And they gave her like a few models. We got like this printing place.
A little armadillo.
Yeah, it's not an armadillo. It's a... I can't remember the name, but it's like Patagonia or something.
A pangolin.
Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, they released this a while ago. It's like to try to encourage about them. I think they're going rather rare. But yeah, so they gave her a bunch of models and things. So she was almost as impressed as I was with all the 3D printers and things. So that's that. Which
That's
I thought
cool.
was very cool.
Is that all one print? Is that one in one piece?
So it comes with a stand, which is supposed to be like the actual when they put the engines, to service them and things. So,
oh God,
sorry. So that is one print where we are. So
do you know what they printed it on?
An Ultimaker. Yeah, it's all Ultimaker sponsored and Rolls-Royce sponsored. So everything's all about Ultimaker and everything. It's really good quality. Inspecting it very finely, I was like, I could possibly squeeze out a bit more quality, but it is fantastic quality. Ultimakers are like just print and forget. They're really good. So yeah, that's one piece as far as I'm aware. And you hardly need any overhangs. It's pretty much just that middle section. You have to buy these bearings if you want it to rotate freely. There's a shaft, which is this blue bit. You've got this. This is actually printed in two parts. You can do it as a multicolor print, or you can also just print the spiral, and then it slots in like it spirals in. And you just put a bit of glue in it.
Oh, that's cool.
And you got the one of the turbine fans, which is all printed in one piece. Here's a little pop quiz. Do you know what the spiral's for?
So it's turning?
Hypnotism.
It's so it's turning. A lot of people think it's to scare birds away and things, but that's one of the reasons. But one of the main reasons.
Yeah, you need to strap a scarecrow to the front. Obviously, that's what you need to do for the birds.
I will put it away. But yeah, it's so the ground crew know that the engine's actually turning. That's one of the main safety features. So yeah, you can go to Thingiverse. You can download that. I think there's a mini one. There's like a 3/4 size, and then there's like a full, not obviously full size, but it's all cut away. It's got all the inside compression turbines, and you can get proper geeky. It's really cool. So that's the sponsor part out of the way.
Sponsored? He never mentioned that.
No, they just said, can you try and promote me? And I was like, you can't say no to an education centre. But after that, yeah, I've been doing fixing things, doing lots of things off camera. I've been trying to just get stuff done. When you get towards Christmas time, I kind of have my own deadlines for doing things. I want to get X, Y, and Z done before Christmas. So I think we'd all agree when you do videos, it slows you down a heck of a lot doing something. Bear with. So one of the main projects I've got is doing my Christmas lights. So last year, I'm doing all my Christmas lights outside with NeoPixels, essentially. So I wanted them all addressable so I could do cool effects and do lots of comets and flows and everything like that. So last year, I was a bit of a rush job. I got the usual outdoor, it's a WS 2811s, which are those little resin encased ones. Bitluni knows all about those ones. Well, he's not even listening. I ended up using Wemos D1s on perf board. I was soldering like in the dark. I think I was even doing it on Christmas Eve and even Christmas Day. I think in between getting stuff ready for Christmas lunch, I was even trying to get certain lights. But this year, I'm way ahead of the game. So I got some boards fabbed from Osh Park, which were they're called Pixel Pops. So they use. I'll just show you it and get this working again. So that is the board. Let me see. Come on, there we go. So it's a Pixel Pop, very small board. This is using Osh Park's After Dark service. So it's see-through solder mask, and it's black FR4. So the actual fiberglass itself is black. You can see through to the copper, and then you've also got the copper pads. So all it is a ESP8266, which is the ESP01. It's got various circuitry. The main one is this little transistor down here, which does the level shifting. So that shifts the 3.3 volt signal to 5 volts for your NeoPixel lines. And then you get various, I've got it set up here. Got a little strip on here, but it's basically outside. And then I encased it in a 3D printed case. So I could have just gone out and bought, like a waterproof case, but I thought no. So this is on Thingiverse. This is a parametric customizable case, and it's supposed to be waterproof. It's got a lid, and you just stick screws down. It's got some holes for the.
Is PLA waterproof?
No. But this has got about 8 layers. So it's not waterproof. It can be waterproof, but it's weatherproof. Right. So for me, it's hanging, below my gutters, under my eaves. So it's just got to withstand a few weeks of cold and splashes. So it'll be fine. Some people would say it's definitely waterproof. They've tested it in the bath and stuff. But yeah, naturally you would say it's not actually waterproof.
Does it have an O-ring or anything?
No, so what I've done, so it works purely on gravity, I believe. So if you actually have it this way, and basically the water doesn't go up. Another guy has actually done it so it's thicker, and he's put like a rubber seam going around the edge. But what I did as a quick job, because my fiance wanted them all up and working by yesterday, was I did some silicon sealant and did like a squeegee of silicon sealant across the seam, and then just sandwiched them. I did some self-tapping screws into the plastic because it's got a really thick wall, and that held the screws perfectly. It doesn't need a lot of force. It's just enough to squeeze the seal. I tested it for a day in the rain, and there was no water inside, so.
I just did something really bad there when you said squeeze the seal.
So yeah. So no animal cruelty. So yeah, they're up and running. They're outside. I had loads of problems last year. I think especially with the level shifter. So I didn't have a level shifter on my Wemos D1 Mini. I tried those, those cheap little level shifter boards that you can get from AliExpress that come in like a strip of 10. I tried soldering that up. I had a long string length to one of my first pixels, and there was just constant data corruption issues on the data line. But I plugged all these guys into the same setup, and straight away they just all work. Software, I'm rambling on. Tell me if I need to shut up.
No, you don't. Keep going. You're fine, mate.
So software-wise or firmware-wise, it's using WLED, which Dr. Zeus, if you guys are into your home automation, or Dr. Zeus, or however the Yanks pronounce him, he's all into home automation. He's really promoting this WLED, which is, I think it's WLED.me. It's done by a guy called Air Cookie. And it's basically, it's just an LED controller, but it manages MQTT. They've just got native home integration, home assistant integration. It does Alexa, it does Wi-Fi. It uses all the fast LEDs. It's really good. It's really awesome. I've got various controllers all around the outside of the house. They can all sync up into one LED controller. So I just need to control one, and it does a lot. And then I've got it controlled to Alexa, which is to have the WAF approval. And she just needs to say, her who can't be named, turn on the Christmas lights, turn off the Christmas lights, and everybody's happy, and we all sit down and enjoy our mulled wine and mince pie. and that's all I've done. I'm afraid, nothing to say.
No, that's fine, mate. That was great. It's better than anything I've got to offer to everybody. Right, next up, Looney, have you been good this year?
Good. No, I've been chaotic, I think.
Okay, I think it's your turn.
Yeah.
So, it's everybody ready for a big face full of Looney? Let's give it a go. There we go.
Ho, ho, ho. This is for Brian's daughter.
Are you really going to do that? Okay, let's do it properly. Come on, everyone. All right. Off you go.
Okay, so let's talk about November. It was okay. What I did is I did the mini console that's based on my old code generating analog signals, and then I went to the Hacker Day Super Conference to California, and yeah, even the T-shirt here. So there was a cool bag full of goodies that I might show off. And I gave a talk about generating video signals. Unfortunately, it's still not online, and I was like in the secondary stage, and that wasn't live. It was recorded, but it will probably show up like next November or something, prior to the next Supercon. And the talk was, yeah, it was a little bit chaotic, but it was cool, and I enjoyed it, and I met a lot of people there. So definitely, I will encourage every one of you here in the MakerCast and interested people and hackers to go there. Met people like Scotty from Strange Parts, Ben Kresnov, who actually recognized me, and he knows my channel, so that's success for me, I would say. And yeah, I had a lot of talk with Charles Law. We are like-minded people. That was really scary. So I really enjoyed chatting and having fun with him. And then, of course, Sprite TM, who is like the Uber king of the Supercon. He designed also the FPGA badge for the Supercon. And yeah, I had some super cool chats with him, and he, yeah, I even suggested a change maybe to the design of the ESP32. So like a newer revision or like a newer version, like maybe 2 versions ahead or something. There will be a change that will actually improve the capabilities of the like, let's say the DEX or I2S in that manner. So that was quite constructive, since he works for ESP, as you might know. And yeah, there have been cool things in the bag. So you get like a bag full of stuff. And there is like, let's start with this. I didn't have time to play with this. So there is this, yeah, there is a like other fruit included, like a it won't focus since this
it's got the "Hello, my name is" thing on it. That's cool.
Yeah, that, and it's very capable. So it has like ton of peripherals on it and stuff. And yeah, what I thought was a little bit like, this one is quite capable, but that was like the star of the show, since it has like a huge FPGA on it. And unfortunately, I broke the screen in my bag, yeah, on the transportation. Yeah, but it has like games, and you can put in like a cartridge with where it's like a perf board, and there is a flash. So you put like your FPGA code on this one and plug it in, and it will boot up like the thing that you made. So that's really cool. It has like HDMI and stuff. It's really crazy. And there was like a contest where people were coding on this and hacking. Everything is open source here. So also the tool chain for the FPGA. Yeah, but I was like super jet lagged and haven't finished my presentation slides yet, and so I didn't take part at this one, but I definitely want to play around with it. So
can I ask you about your talk? How many people were there?
Oh, not many, because I competed against like a super cool talk of someone who like made like 10 gigahertz oscilloscope or something. So the room was only half full, maybe. It was 30 people, maybe.
That's still enough to be terrified, in my opinion.
No, it wasn't. I'm in the flow. Once I start to rambling, you know me, I'm in the flow and just not recognize the people anymore. So and there have been like a ton of other things. You can like trade badges or boards. So met few people that recognized me, and I gave like my badges or VGA boards and traded for other stuff. So many badge art things. Got ton of stickers. Tindy badge you could solder. Then I took part on that soldering challenge. So I had like.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's like 02.
You've done it. Hang on, let me make you bigger. Yeah,
0201. So I did it at the same time as Alex, Tiny LED Metrics did it, and it's quite challenging because you don't have the good tools there. I couldn't even fix that, and you have like strange this flux pen, and the tools aren't very good to do this, but I had quite a good time. But the last LED, I saw that in like the wrong way around, since you cannot see anything there. And then I had to resolder it, and that took me like 10 minutes, and the total was of 23 minutes. So that took me like ages. And there were people in another round that have been like super crazy fast, 8 minutes to solder this thing. And the parts are really tiny. So it was quite cool. What do I have? Yeah, I have got like in this bag another Arduino board. Then I even, where is it? Yeah, I met people. I got a Tinsy 4.0. So I met the guy that does these. I don't know his name.
Paul.
Yeah. So I got that one, and that's like cheating. This thing is like 1 gigahertz or something crazy. Really? 1 megabyte of SRAM. Yeah, it's crazy. Like 2 banks of SRAM of like 512 kilobytes each. It's crazy. So that might break the game here. And the microcontroller thing is. Crazy lot of stuff. Yeah, maybe that one I got from Alex, Tiny LED Metrics, one of his super tiny shitty add-ons. So that's like
wow,
that's so tiny.
No, that's one color. I think that's red LEDs, and it has like everything on it, like to control it, and that's a super crazy small thing. Oh, okay. So yeah, I probably forgot stuff to show off. Yeah, and that was all I think from the Supercon. It was quite cool to meet all the people, and it was like, it's a little bit different to maker fairs. Maker fairs are like super crowded with lots of people, like kids, and the Hackaday Supercon is like more mature. So if you're talking to people, they know what you're talking about. So there's like, it's really high end, but the people are really nice and chill. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next year. It was quite a long trip there, but I think I will go there anyways. Yeah, and then I stayed for like 2 weeks in California and traveled California with like a road trip. So that was more or less my month.
That's cool, mate. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Right. Who's next? Seon, Liz. I'm going to see which one of you looks the least scared. What? So me, Seon?
Yeah.
Liz, we're going to go with you, but you have muted your mic. So
No, I've unmuted it.
Okay,
She's a
good.
pro. She knows what she's doing.
And she does. Someone mentioned it in the chat, and I thought, crap, I've muted Liz, and I was just like trying to undo it, but it told me I couldn't. So, Liz, what have you been up to over the last month?
Not much, but I've been working on camera slider. So this is Adafruit's project. The Ruiz brothers. Oh,
Did Seon just get escaped so he did get hit by the thing? I'll make it bigger so everyone can see it.
So this is a Ruiz brothers design, and basically they wanted to port it to CircuitPython. So I wrote the code for that, and it's using a Feather M4. Which way? There we go. The motor Feather wing that drives the stepper here, and then this is like this TFT joystick wing, so you can like scroll through the menus, and I've got some like bitmaps on there that like show what's going on. So the code will set with that. I just have to lint it, which is not fun, and then it'll be all set. But this is all 3D printed with like aluminum extrusions. And
what's the head on there? What's the big silver thing?
You guys might find this interesting. It's like a motorized like camera like turntable. So like it's on a timer, and you can do different like angles. So you could do like 90 degrees or 180 degrees and have it go for like different time periods. So it's really cool for time lapses. It makes it like really smooth. And it was pretty cheap, relatively. It was like 60 USD on Amazon. And the only thing I have issues with is I'll think it's going to turn one way, but it turns the opposite way. So I think I just need to do the way that I think it's not going to turn, and then it will be the way that it will actually turn. But yeah, so that was a big thing I was working on. And then the XyloPi project continues with all sorts of issues. It's like, I think the electronics for this are just doomed. Like the other night I was actually like, maybe I should just stop. But I think I have circuit finally all set for the solenoid. And then I was testing it with the IO expander over I2C last night, and I need to check to see if it's actually the chip that is weird. But basically, like, I can get logic out of it and like blink this LED here, but then when I put it into anything else, the logic just completely borks and the chip like needs to be reset. So I don't know if I've damaged the chip or what. So that's still going. But we actually just had Thanksgiving here this week, so it's more of like a holiday week for me. So I've been doing some holiday craft prep. So these are little mice that you put candy canes in, and then it's like they have a little tail. So I did a whole bunch of those. Those are fun. And then I made a quilt.
Is that what you use to snare all the children?
I'm like the child catcher.
Lollipops.
I don't actually want any children near me, so it's just for fun. I did make this for a child today. It's a Harry Potter quilt.
Oh, that's cool.
I had a son, and his nursery theme's Harry Potter. So, woo. So yeah, that's what I've been working on slowly but surely.
That is very cool. That one.
The camera sliders took up majority of my time because it was porting all the code and like doing new things. But yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Seon, you are the last one left.
One.
I could.
No, you're
just
the
go
last
to me. I could go.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go for me now and then go back to you. But I feel it's probably best we go to you.
That's okay. I'm happy to go next. And sorry for running off. I had to sneeze in a hurry.
Well, it kind of looked like Liz scared you with the big
It was
metal
like I
thing.
whooped you with the
I tried muting and running at the same time, but it's anyway. By the way, I just want to ask Liz. So what that camera slider stuff like it's really cool. I watched the project when they were building it. What I want to know is what's the BOM cost? Like, I mean, obviously the 3D printing, like the PLA costs whatever, but like in terms of the extrusions and all the rest of the stuff, how much has it worked out? Do you know roughly?
I need to look that up, but I can get that number to you later.
Like, yeah, just like I guess.
That's such a business response. Yeah, I need to look that up, but I'll get that number to you later.
And to work.
Please speak to my people. Yeah. was curious because there are a lot of people making different versions on YouTube, and then there's kits that you can buy and stuff. And I'm curious to know because there's so many options out there.
Is it cheaper than an Edelchrome?
Sorry?
Is it cheaper than the Edelchrome one?
Oh,
right.
100% cheaper than
Yeah.
that.
We just got a new Rhino
Everything is.
slider at work, and that thing is like £2,500.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a lot cheaper than that.
Okay, cool. Okay, so my month's been pretty unusual for me. I've been spending a lot of time coding, which is the thing that I started hardware to stop doing. But I guess it's really hard to build hardware and not put code on it, especially with embedded processors. But I've obviously been working on my parts website, which is coming along. For those that don't know, I'm working on a parts tracking and project tracking website, and parts storage mainly to solve my particular problem of having too many components all over my workshop and not knowing what I've got in stock and where it all is. So, and there are already solutions out there for this type of stuff, but I'm trying to make something that's much more streamlined. I've also, I finally built my first prototype of my Reflow Master Pro. It's sit here. Obviously, you can just see the screen buttons, and there's stuff on the back, and then inside there's all the hardware. And so I decided that I wanted to rewrite my Reflow Master software for this and do it in MicroPython, which has been a bit of a challenge because one of the things that's missing in MicroPython really is really good driver support for screens and graphics libraries. It's fairly limited, and so I've ended up having to write my own display drivers and graphics libraries for this to be able to do what I want to do. And it's kind of weird because I'm kind of pissed off that I have to do that because I just want to build the product. Like I want to, build and ship my Reflow Master Pro, but I'm also really proud of the fact that I've built a really cool graphics library that can do things like multicolored fonts, embedded inside the fonts. You can make every character a different color and, being able to do fully rotated fonts and scaling and stuff. So there's a part of me that the geeky side of me is kind of, happy that I've been building this stuff, but the business side of me is annoyed that I've had to spend my time doing it instead of just working on the product. But that's been pretty cool when it actually, let me just turn it on. Hopefully I'll see reflection-wise, you might be able to see what's on the screen. But so I've got multi-fonts and multicolored fonts, and, I've got menus kind of working right now. It's still really early, but like I've got setting screens and stuff. So
Are these from the touchscreen screens? Yeah.
No, I'm just using that. This actually is a touch screen.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were doing when you were updating the code, was to make it touchy.
No, I didn't actually connect any of the pins to touch on this. I'm not convinced still that the resistive touch is accurate enough. These screens all come with styluses, but to have to go and grab a stylus to, I'm going to have too much detail on the screen to use my finger to do it. It's not like using an iPhone or an Android phone. Like it's nowhere near the same type of quality.
You can get a nice big fat touch area to go over those buttons.
Those ones, yes, but I've got other ideas that I want to do.
Right.
Yeah, and also I built this off using one of my tiny Pico Nanos. So it's an ESP32. You might be able to see just inside here. It's a Nano, so it's a castellated module that gets soldered to the board. So a lot of the interface stuff for this I'm going to do as a web interface, so you don't have to actually use the front controller. Anyway, so I've been working on that, which has been pretty cool. I've also started playing around with my VNA. Had a bit of a disaster with my Pro S2 board in terms of the way I set up the RF on it, but I've got all these little
Frankenstein modules all over the place.
Yeah, so they're all different boards, like tiny Picos and stuff that are connected with coax, so I can connect them to my VNA to do matching and stuff. So that's been an interesting challenge because I don't know really anything about using a VNA, so that's been a bit of a learning curve. And I've got a new revision Pro S2 just being made at the moment, so hopefully I'll fix I had a ground plane under the antenna which wasn't supposed to be there, so I'm getting noise and garbage on the board.
What does VNA stand for?
Yeah, I was
just for
gonna
those
say.
who don't know.
Vector Network Analyzer. So it's what you use to measure the reflection and transmission of the RF. So I can tune the network to make the RF workers.
Maybe dial it back a little bit. That sounded crazy.
You mean a device to make your Wi-Fi better?
Yeah, explain it to me like I'm a 3-year-old. No, don't.
Right. So a proper VNA looks like an oscilloscope on steroids. It's basically a screen that you connect your antenna to it, and then you can read the reflection back. And basically, if you say this is a Wi-Fi antenna at 2.45 gigahertz, and it shows you on your screen that you're not even close to 2.54 gigahertz, you can work out what components to put on your board to shift and tune to make your antenna frequency match properly.
Cool. So when you said in your streams that you've sent your boards off to your RF guy to get
that's what he normally does.
That's
right?
what it's doing.
And I still probably will do that for my final production board or to get it finally matched. But I want to learn. Like, part of this journey for me is learning more. And I bought myself a $600, $700 VNA, which is really cheap. I mean, like a good proper one is $10,000. But this thing, it works quite well. It's small. Now. It's called a mini tiny VNA, and it goes from 100 megahertz up to 3 gigahertz, which is quite unusual for a little small device. And it plugs into USB, and then you use the software. So it's been an expensive process for me. It would have been much cheaper just to send the boards off and get my guy in China to do it. But
how much is it?
Sorry?
How much is the device?
The VNA was $650 Australian.
Okay.
And I've probably spent another $200 on cables and accessories and things to be able to work with it.
This was your last live stream. I have it like in watch later since I wasn't able to watch it yet, but it looks very interesting. Do you have to solder the capacitor and the resistor each time you change it, or do you have like a precision setup where you can use a variable resistance or anything?
No, you don't. So what you do is you use your VNA to get certain data, and then you can plug that data into some other software. And in the software, you can play around with the values, right? And which is not perfectly accurate, but it gives you a good direction. And then when you think you've got it fairly close, you take those values and you solve them on the board, and then you reread it back in and see the results, right?
Have you been already successful using that, or?
No, because unfortunately, because I had a ground plane under my antenna.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm getting noise back, and so I can't do that yet. But like with my Tiny Pico, for instance, I took a version and I took the matching network off it and left one with it on there. And so I've got the comparison between before and after. And then I took in software, I did tune it, and the values I got were pretty close to what the guy in China did. So, but yeah, it's a process that you go around in circles. Like you do it in software, you get it close, you put it on the hardware, you reread it, you then put it back in, you tweak it again. I mean, it happens a lot, and it's frustrating. So what I got myself was, these were quite expensive. These were I think they cost me about $350 all up. It's a book of inductors and a book of caps that they're specifically designed for RF. They're 0402, and there's a whole range of values. And so, because you can't test the hardware unless you've got the right values to test with. So, like this inductor book, which one's my inductor? This inductor book here, I mean, that was like $200 just for this book of that's all those values, right? But I mean, that's what you got to do. So,
what do you do if these are like precision inductors and so on, but when you are going in production, you can't use these because you have like only a few of these. So do you use it?
Then I can buy them. So I can, I mean, there's lots of brands that I can buy. Once I know what the value is, I can, there's many suppliers I can buy from. I can buy them on
I remember you have been talking about that even changing the brand might change the complete outcome of what the antenna does.
If the specs are the same, it should be okay. The issue is for certification.
Okay.
If your board's certified with a particular part and you go and change a brand, that could, it might not, but it could cause you to need to get.
No. That was that.
You just need to notify them that there's a change.
Yeah.
Right. At worst, you might have to get it recertified.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, so that's been an interesting journey. A lot of learning there, and I'm still not even touched the surface.
Yeah.
But,
Seon, when you left the games gig, did you know any of that?
No.
Right, 'cause you talk like you've been doing this for ages, yet you always have this backstory of how you're just learning it all. But you always come across like you've been doing this for years. And
it's not even 2 years yet. I'm just, I don't know.
I've been with you from day one, but I always feel like you've had like this 5-10 years of backstory of knowing all this. It's incredible how much you can pick up and learn and go from zero to a knowledgeable sage within weeks. It's great.
Look, I mean, you got to remember, I'm doing it full time. Like I'm doing this 7 days a week. I've been pushing myself really hard for the last couple of years because I need to get to a point as soon as possible where something happens. I don't know whether I'm got a sustainable business or whether I go get a job, whatever it's going to be. I need to like build my knowledge as quick as possible. And I just love learning. I mean, that's what drives me. It's getting expensive. As I said, I've dropped $1,000 just on V&A stuff, and I haven't even been able to match a board yet.
How was the boss? How did you write that one across the boss to purchase all that?
Well, I'm the boss. I don't
the real
have
boss.
No,
the real boss.
No, that's not my relationship with Yaz. Yaz and I, no.
They're partners in crime.
Yeah.
So sorry if that's your experience, but that's not my experience.
No. She's totally on board. She's still.
No, she's trusts me, and she,
From what we've seen, she's incredibly supportive of you.
Yeah. Like
really
she trusts me that I'm doing, like, I'm not just sitting here wasting my time. And although sometimes it feels like I'm sitting here wasting my time.
It's like he's on Fortnite again. What's he doing?
No, honestly, I've not played one game in over a year and a half. Nothing. Like all my consoles are packed up in the garage. Everything all gone. Anyway, let's move on. That's one other thing I want to show. Sorry, is so I put a video out a couple of weeks ago about I designed and 3D printed some story tracks for my reels. So I just wanted to do. There's another video, part 2 coming up. But I just wanted to show you this. This is it's a modular rack. It actually comes apart. Oh shit. They're supposed to concertina. Anyway, so it's not glued together at the moment. I might glue it. But anyway, it's a rack to put reels in, and it's modular, so I can just print them and make any length I want. But these are designed to fit exactly inside my IKEA shelf cubby holes. You know those.
I was thinking you could see that in IKEA as part of the kitchen range for doing your dishes. It's a beautiful design.
Yeah, when I'm not doing electronics anymore, and I moved on to something else,
dishes washers.
Put dishes in them, yeah, for sure. So I've printed different colors for different. So I've got like a blue rack for my 0402s, and this is for my 0603s, and I've got a black rack for 0805s, and so yeah, this is part of my whole cleaning up my storage stuff. So that's been pretty cool. That took ages to print.
You've got a great rack, Seon.
That's what she said.
Great. Boom tish. That was really good, Dave. And what else? Been building lots of Reflow masters. Lots and lots of Reflow masters. That's it. Yeah, that's been my month. Pretty hectic.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. I think I've got to say something now. So I've been waiting for parts for quite a long time. Oh, also, I never introduced myself at the beginning, I realised. Hello. You probably all know me, but some of you may have come from elsewhere. Bitluni put a tweet out, Liz did, on her Instagram, by the way. She's got like 2,000 followers pretty much, which is incredible. Is that right? Yeah, it's about that.
You've muted her again.
There was no, I haven't.
It's around.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to show you how old I am, but she did a story on Instagram and mentioned me in it. Had a timer and stuff. I don't know, whatever. So, what have I been doing?
Quick side note, Bitluni actually messaged me asking how he could then add it to his story.
This is so crazy. Instagram is so convoluted. You can't just like retweet or anything. You have to like go in the chat where you might have been notified of a mention. Then you can add it maybe to your story somehow. There are 5 different ways, but you can just retweet or anything like that.
I'm about 6 to 8 years past being able to do any of that, honestly. Anyway, I'll talk a little bit about what I've been up to recently and what I plan to do in the future. So I've not been making much, so there's a spoiler. So everything else you might want to turn off for, but I've been waiting for parts for a long time from AliExpress. They have finally arrived, and these are bits that are going to help me be able to make the HAL 9000 PCB project.
Oh yeah.
I've got not much to show you. So I think I might end up giving up on these cheap Chinese MP3 player ICs, but I've got one last shot. And if it works, then that'll be great. And then everyone can buy one for like $1 and be able to use a little SD card and play loads of stuff in fairly high quality. So you can already do that with like an AT-Tiny 85 playing WAV files or whatever from an SD card. But the quality is pretty crappy because the data throughput's not very high. So you get like a fairly low sample rate. But with the MP3 stuff, sounds really great. And even one of them, which is a GDP something. I can't remember the numbers. There's so many in my head. The one I'm using at the moment is the AC1082. But there's a GPD one, which has an audio amplifier built in. So actually, it would simplify everything. Maybe a little bit too much, actually. I don't want it to just be like, I've used one chip to do everything. Like Brian's little thingy. I can't do the hand thing, but there we go. They should have used a 555 thing. But so I'm working on it, but it's not quite there. And it's one of those things where there's no data sheet for the thing. There's sort of scant little information. I picked the only information I've found for this AC1082 is on a Russian forum that I've had to use Google Translate for. Honestly, but these people are mad for it. They're all over this forum. There's like 182 pages that I've gone through on this Russian forum to find people's little example circuits that they've done. In that forum, I found there are 10 different versions of the firmware used in these chips. So I don't know which one I've got until I manage to get it to work and see what the behavior is. So I've no idea. The fallback is using an AT-Tiny 85 on the HAL 9000 thing, but I don't want to because I want to have touch control. I want to have all sorts of stuff on there and be able to put your own samples in. So I'm still working on that. I'm also working on the Jurassic Park gate. I've got a friend of mine who's a musician of sorts, and he's going to do a sound alike of one of the Jurassic Park bits of music. So you know that da 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 that bit. You know, and then they see the dinosaurs off in like the distance. That's the bit, you know, the bit that raises, like everyone goes, oh my god, the dinosaurs. I want that music to be on it when you open the gate. So it's really important to me. So I've not moved on with that project. I have refined my 3D design for it, but I've not done any more than that. I've started designing a ninja, which is another thing, because I promised a 3-year-old who's now 4, and he still remembers from when he was just 3 that I would make him a ninja for Christmas, and I never did. Instead, I delivered him Brian the robot, which his parents won't charge up anymore because he makes too much noise, so he's not content. So now I've got to make a ninja. And so that is a fairly simple design using the HP L1414, which is that little display that I messed around with on the channel before. And what I've coming up next, so ignore all of that because I'm literally not going to get anything done for the next couple of weeks because I'm busy at work. But I have got a couple of bits. Sorry, I haven't got the time to work on anything, sadly. But I did start messing around with some solar stuff, right? So Adam Welch was kind enough to send me his PWM85, which is a solar charge controller for 12 volt batteries, like lead acid. I've got a gel one, should be fine. Literally no idea what the difference is there. But it's based off Julian's, who's in the chat somewhere, hopefully. And Adam is there. Hello. Adam says, careful for a copyright strike. I don't think my Jurassic Park rendition was quite good enough, unfortunately.
It does make it not safe for kids, though.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, it's not targeted to kids here.
Copper's going
absolutely
straight
not.
after you.
They electrocute a child in that film. I don't think that makes it suitable for kids. Actually, not electrocute because he did
I
survive.
don't remember that.
He did
It's
get electrocuted.
climbing
He
on.
just-
No, because that's death, isn't it? Oh, did they have to revive him?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah,
briefly.
okay.
It's
So you don't remember that,
horrific film.
Seon? It's climbing the
been a
T-Rex
long time. Been a long
fence,
time.
and then it's 50,000 volts. It's not the volts that kill you. You know that bit? No?
It's the dinosaurs.
Yeah, it
Long
is.
time ago.
It's sitting on the toilet at the wrong time. That's what kills you. So anyway, Adam sent me one of these boards very kindly, and I sent him back something because I felt super guilty. But so I'm really excited to get. I'm going to get a solar panel in my garden. December might not be the best time, so I'm going to play with a PSU. Power supply. That is the right. I thought it was a PS4 or something. I just said. Play with one of those and charge up this battery, and I'm really excited about it. But I also thought, well, why not play around with some other renewable energy things? So I picked up one of these. It's proper rubbish. I thought I want to see.
Is that a hand crank?
You can get these. It's like a dynamo thing, right? So you used to have them on your bicycle when it would be on the wheel and it would power your light really badly, and it was always just flashing on and off when you pedal. And then I found some which were British Army surplus ones. They were £70, massive things with a huge handle. I've got one of those torches that's a wind-up one. I thought, oh, this would be interesting. So I decided I'm going to make a wind-up ESP8266 project with one of these. So this is not going to be ideal. But with one of these... Oh, is this all in the bag? It is. Oh, that's... I mean, I could show it to you, but I'm not taking the bag apart. It is a Waveshare e-paper display. It's one of their 4.2-inch ones. Yeah, 4.2-inch. And I thought maybe, how everyone's addicted to their phones and you're just a swipe away from seeing what the latest news is. Wow, I thought if I made you wind the thing up to get it to display, it might be quite fun. So the idea is that you have to wind it up until an LED comes on. Maybe it's like a voltage comparator or something, and then it'll fire off and pick up the news on one of these. So I can use some supercapacitors or something like that. Maybe. I haven't got into all of that yet.
So it's portable, so you can take it because you don't need a power source.
Yeah.
But you need a suitcase to carry it.
And probably Wi-Fi, unfortunately. But you can get that from your phone. That kind of ruins it, doesn't it? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, that's basically what I'm working on at the moment. That's it. I did get a massive battery.
When you said the other day that you zapped
Look at
yourself,
this thing weighs a freaking ton. What's that?
When you said you zapped yourself the other day.
Oh god, that was awful.
Yeah, before I saw the video, I thought you zapped yourself playing with that battery, that 12-volt battery.
Oh no, that would be okay, I would imagine. But no, it's the EL wire little a switch mode power supply type deal. That thing, I don't know how many volts it kicks out, but it does give you a tingle. It was funny,
really well.
But I didn't expect it to happen. I've never been zapped from anything powered by batteries. So I guess not a taser, but that I guess is the equivalent of. But I was more frightened of the mains electricity on that switching thing. It's not meant to be a real project. I bought that 4 months ago and never expected it to arrive. After I'd left it 2 months and then I could no longer leave terrible feedback on eBay, then I was just whatever, done. Anyway, I don't have a lot to talk about. I just came here to host mainly, so... We've got something coming up, haven't we? Which it's now my thing, I think. So it is. It's quiz time, everyone.
Yeah.
So I love doing a little quiz, and hopefully you're all gonna enjoy this. So this, Looney did. Actually, I've got a couple of questions first because I wrote some down when I was going on. Liz, tell me, sewing machine, background.
Yes.
When did you learn to sew? What do you sew?
I started when I was in high school, so it's probably about 10 years ago now. And I've done bags. Actually, it's my work bag. I sewed this Just kind of odds and ends. I've never done clothes, but I've done like hangings for like cross stitch, and quilting I just started doing. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Thanks.
Curiosity satisfied there. Now, Looney, hat, bad haircut or seasonal? What's going on?
Both, I think. No, but I make it like custom to wear the whole December. I just wear this hat, and that's it. This is the last maker cast before
of the year. Yeah.
Then
Well,
it's over.
It's good that you are wearing that because today we have a Christmas quiz, everybody. So I have, some of it's technology related, not really. Mainly it's about Christmas. Now, I don't believe in all of that, but I do love giving presents and things. So
You don't believe in Santa Claus?
no, absolutely believe in Santa.
Good.
Just the whole Christmas bit. That I don't believe. But
Who puts the
Santa,
presents under the tree?
no one puts presents under my tree. I don't really get any presents for Christmas.
It's not targeted to kids, so
No, this is about that evil corporation's tradition of selling gifts at Christmas. So, question 1. And you can all just answer. Chat, you can cheat. That's fine. You can tell them if you want. What? And bear in mind, this is a Christmas.
So many disclaimers. Come on.
What's happening?
What was the first song played in space?
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
White Christmas, Bing Crosby.
If I say nothing, just assume that you're terribly wrong.
So it's Christmas related, I assume.
Oh, is it? You're
What did you say?
assuming.
Well, you said it's Christmas
Careful.
quiz. Otherwise, that's a really
It
bad
is.
question.
It is Christmas related. It's a Christmas song, ish. I say
Mariah-
ish because I'll
Mariah
tell Liz
Carey-
in a minute what it's all about.
Mariah Carey.
First one in space, the first
David
ever
Bowie.
song, in space was not Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas."
Major Tom.
No,
Wham! Last Christmas.
Seon. I expect to see an answer.
I don't know.
Okay, well, the chat has already got it. The answer is Jingle Bells. It's not technically a Christmas song, although we use it at Christmas. It is actually a Thanksgiving song.
What?
So,
Really?
yeah, it doesn't mention Christmas at all in Jingle Bells, but it is a Thanksgiving song.
It mentions Batman.
Thank Wikipedia.
Weird.
Liz, you're going to have to look this up.
Yeah.
Question number 2. What was the first thing Kevin did in Home Alone to fight off Harry and Marv? Home Alone's a film, generally played at Christmas, also has a Christmas theme.
Do you mean the end sequence, or do you mean when he's trying to get
The very first thing he does to
He
fight off
shoots
Harry
them-
and Marv.
He shoots him in the balls and the head.
Well done. He does.
Really?
He
Oh,
shoots Marv, is it? Or no, Harry in the groin with a BB
Yeah.
gun. Correct.
I thought it was spilling the water.
I thought it was like slipping on the ice as well, but no,
Yeah.
BB gun. Didn't remember that.
Wow.
Right, this is, well, actually, so hang on a minute. I better do some scores now because one of you got something right. So,
I like they weren't planning for
Surprise,
that.
surprise.
so there are multiple points available for this question, and whenever I hear the first name, you get a point. So, what are the names of Santa's reindeer?
Rudolph.
Original reindeer.
Dasher,
Not
Dancer,
Rudolph.
Prancer, Vixen,
Donner,
Comet,
Blitzen.
Keeper, Donner, and Blitzen.
Okay, that's all of them. What the hell?
I'm
What do you
sorry,
mean original?
I've watched about 4
Was
Christmas
Rudolph
films
not the
today.
original reindeer?
No, Rudolph's-
For kids. Yeah.
Rudolph's
Yeah.
some corporate.
He was
By the
made up,
way,
yeah.
I made a Rudolph project on my channel, but no one watched it. So
That's because you're a corporate shill. That's why. So, Liz, did you? No, you're not really. We all love you. Liz, did you mention reindeer? Because Chunky. Sorry,
was about
Steve just went for it.
I got to Donner and Blitzen, but then Steve was just too
He
aggressive.
went for it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who do I give the points to? I'm just going to give.
Give us-
Okay, Liz, you get 2 points, and
Thanks.
Steve,
Split
you
them.
get.
She was going for it. Split them.
Sadly, you get
Split them 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
8.
You get 6. You don't get 8. Don't start with me. According
I get
to
minus one.
a.
Wait, I get -1.
Do you, oh, we're doing that now.
Randolph.
Oh, that's true. You do. Yeah.
Randolph.
Okay.
I said I get Randolph and Rudolph.
You do get -1. Okay. So
Randolph,
according
the
to
blue-nosed reindeer.
the Telegraph newspaper, who calculated how fast Santa's sleigh would have to travel around the globe on Christmas Eve, and because he follows the rotation of the Earth, he can have about 32 hours doing that. So how fast, and I'll accept within 500,000 miles per hour, that gives you a little clue. How fast is Santa's sleigh? You can also give it to me in kilometers per hour or in a percentage of the speed of light.
300%.
300% of the speed of light. No,
Bro,
you're getting some minus points for that one.
Oh,
I'm giving you a minus point. That's just too far out. Far too far out.
The chat's going with Mach 4, which does vary. But
It does. Max the speed of
sound
through air,
at sea level, which Santa does not go.
yeah, that's not too much.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Like
Santa.
4,000 kilometers per hour.
AZ's right in that it is at least 200 miles an hour, but in fact it's a fair bit more. Right, I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is 10.7 million kilometers an hour, or 6.65 million kilometers an hour, or 0.9% the speed of light.
Oh, I was so close.
Yeah. No, it's like it's 1%. It's basically 1% the speed of light, not like not close to the speed of light.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so next, in fact, yeah, no one got points there, sadly. It gets pretty cold in winter now that we're in December. But what is really, really cold? What is absolute 0 in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Minus 273.
You just said minus, Steve, right? Well done. Steve got that. Bitluni, that was extremely close. I'm going to give you the point for that.
What?
It's minus 273.15 in Celsius, or minus 459.67 in Fahrenheit. That was incredible. Well done.
Yeah.
In fact,
That's easy.
I feel like
Sorry, I
I should
don't
give you 2
understand
points.
the question. What was the question? Forget it. Sorry.
It gets pretty... What? Oh, okay, fine. In the song, The 12 Days of Christmas, what was sent on the 9th day?
9 geese a laying. 9 geese a laying.
No.
9 ransomware emails.
The 9 pipers piping.
Nope.
10 drummers drummers.
Does anyone want to sing it?
9 milks and nine milks and milk.
Now 9 milks are mating.
That's
It's
the
not
one.
that. No, it's not that.
99 lift balloons. No.
99 just Luftballon. No. Anyone? You could have done the song in your head by now.
No, 12.
I know the song.
10,
Not if you don't know.
You don't. On the first day of Christmas,
still
my
like
true
Christmas.
love gave to me. You don't know
Nine
that
le-
one.
I mean, I know it, but I don't know the
9
details.
lords a leaping goes to the chat.
9 ladies dancing is the correct answer.
9 ladies dancing.
9 ladies dancing, 10 lords are leaping. That's
Someone
the
gave
thing.
someone else 9 dancing ladies.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that is
they,
a Christmas.
they didn't give, they sent. So, okay, next one. This one, like, unless you know it, you're not going to get it, but I think it's an interesting fact to have as a question. How tall was the tallest cut Christmas tree?
42 feet.
I'd say it will be like 60 meters.
Oh my
0.5
God.
meters.
That's close. That's very close. You can all just now say 61 meters, 62 meters. You don't need to. I'm going to give it to Looney. It's 67.36 meters.
Oh.
That's 221 feet. It was a Douglas fir erected and decorated at Northgate Shopping Center in Seattle, Washington, USA in 1950.
That's a big tree.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So there are 11 questions in all in this quiz, and that was question 7. Question 8. Santa has different names around the world. Barring Santa Claus, our usual name in the British areas, can you name 2?
Father Christmas and St. Nicholas.
Father Christmas is, I'm going to say St. Nicholas is Santa Claus.
What?
I think that's the same person.
Oh,
Is it not?
that's
Is that
so-
not the same name? But okay,
Same.
I'm going to give it to you. That's fine.
It's all the same person.
It's not the answer I had there. It's fine now. Let's just write this there. Liz gets 1 point.
What's the
So,
what's the one in the office? Do I
there are-
There's Nickel.
Father
Yeah.
Frost.
that's
so
good.
in Germany, it is Kris Kringle. In Italy, it's Le Befana and Pierre Noël in France, and Dushka Moroz in Russia, or Grandfather Frost is another one. What is Santa's zip code?
90210.
Right, you're just trying to get these minus points, aren't you, Seon?
I don't know.
Let's just add that in there.
N-
Just
The
a
one,
minute.
the one
NP1?
topic you picked that I know nothing about.
Oh, I just realised I was doing -1, but I just put -1, and I've done that for everybody. So you're all on minus points. Ignore it. Whoops.
NP1?
Nope. What's N? Oh, North Pole one. That's clever. No, it isn't that. So
You don't technically need a zip code to get to him, though.
Santa Claus is actually a citizen of Canada.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So it really, like, I think by law is actually weirdly a citizen of Canada, and he has his own zip code. So it is ho ho ho. Santa Claus, North Pole, HOHOHO, Canada, and it was assigned to him by the Canada Post, and I think it was in 1986.
Death shaking.
Will they reply to the letter?
They do. They send you a reply.
That's good.
So loads of countries have their own ones of these. The Royal Mail in the UK also has it. In fact, if you wanted to send a letter to Santa this year, you need to do it by the December the 6th. Otherwise, they won't send you a reply. But you can write to them. So there you go. Question number 10. What is a traditional Christmas dinner in Japan?
They don't celebrate Christmas.
That's not the right answer.
Teriyaki chicken.
Not far off.
Chicken.
It's close. I need more than that.
In an udon suba. I don't know.
With rice.
So someone in the chat has already got it.
Oh,
Duck.
duck.
Turkey teriyaki.
What?
No. Bit further up. Bit further up.
Animal.
KFC.
KFC is the correct answer.
What?
So
What?
KFC?
yeah, so starting in December 1974, KFC started this advertising campaign and said, have KFC for Christmas. And turns out getting hold of a turkey is really difficult in Japan. And it's now one of the most popular things to do for Christmas dinner is to go to KFC. In fact, you have to book ahead of time at a KFC to get your chicken ready. Crazy, right?
That's crazy. That's as crazy as going to McDonald's in the UK.
Yeah, it'd be weird, wouldn't it?
People do.
Right. This is the very last question in our quiz.
Thank God.
Do you hate the quiz, Seon? Is that what it is?
It's a topic I don't know. so
You
I
don't
can't-
like the quiz. Oh. Chat, do you like the quiz? Is it
Oh, chat loves
maybe? I
It's
don't know if they
it's
do.
very northern hemisphere focused as well, I have to say.
Is it? I
Bias.
mean, I just
say-
had a question about Japan.
No, you did
Extreme
say
bias.
that's northern, isn't it?
No.
No.
Is it?
Japan's southeastern, but that's okay.
You did say it's cold in December.
Also, there was one where it was in space. How is that like Northern Hemisphere focused?
It's like
It was in
it's
space.
It's completely no.
And also, Santa lives up north, so it has to be a little bit. Anyway, question number 11. This is the last question. Don't ask why I didn't stop at 10. Maybe I should have done. But last question, number 11. Oh, look at you, Seon. Right, that's it. How do we get rid of him? Must be a way, right? No, I won't really. Hasbro set up a helpline in 2006 to help mediate family disputes over Christmas. For which board game?
Monopoly?
Oh, for heaven's sake. Another point to bloody Steve.
Aw.
It is. Hasbro
It's
set up
always
a
Monopoly.
Hasbro set up a hotline where you could phone in and there'd be teams of people with the rule book to figure out if somebody cheated. So common cheats were stealing people's money when they went to the toilet. That was very common, apparently. There's
My kids always want to go banker because that way they can help themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
Hiding
real
money
banker.
and properties under the board and using the weird free parking rule, which really isn't in the rule. You know, where you land on free parking, you win the money in the middle, which is the taxes that you put
Oh
down.
yeah.
Not
That's
actually a rule though.
Rule.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Is
that is
the rule? Oh, okay. Didn't
so.
know.
Let me just total up who won. So Steve's got 1, 2.
He's got like 12 points. He wins.
Hang on, I'm still counting. Can you guys make some chat? Just talk a little bit. That's it. Steve, can you get out your little elf and just sort of try and make his head the size of bitluni's?
Oh, it is bitluni. It's the same.
Yeah, sadly
Can you
Steve
rotate
did
his hat?
win.
Can you rotate his hat, Steve? Yeah, that's better. Oh, no. Bitluni, can you get some lipstick?
Yeah, you need a little bit of lipstick.
Okay.
All right, well, it turns out, Steve, not that it matters who won, but Steve won. Well done, everybody. Congratulations, chat. I think you pretty much won the whole thing anyway, so well done.
Thank you for the quiz.
God, I'm very happy to have delivered it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, apart from this one. Hang on, where do we... There, that's it.
Yeah, it's mirrored.
Liz, you got it wrong too. So, have I got any? Oh,
Yeah, what's
just
what's
one.
What's the head there? Yeah. What's
Yeah, what happened? How did you get that little boo boo, Seon?
Oh yes.
I've got a see, I've got a bit of a hole on my head.
A zit.
Yeah, I wish it was.
It's not.
So
It's a terrible injury.
my DMM, my probes are really sharp. They're I can't remember what brand they are. I bought them in the States, and they're they cost me like $110. These things, they're gold tipped, and they're like incredibly sharp. And so I was sitting here working on something on my bench, and I'm holding my probes, and I'm
Down
doing
the hips.
something, and I realized that I made a mistake, and I put my probes in my hand like this, and I went, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" Bang! And I went stab, and I stabbed the probe straight into my head.
Oh my god! I just
And-
snorted.
And it didn't go deep because it's like bone, right? Like it's
Oh my
Wait.
god.
in on an ankle, so it went in and up. And thank God that the tip is only that long because
Oh
it
my God.
stopped. It stopped because of the plastic.
No,
You
it
have
went that deep.
Because
you
I
a line in
what I
your,
did-
in your
wait.
head.
So what I did was I laid out all these LEDs in the correct orientation to put on the board, so I didn't have to worry about checking each one when they went on. And then I went and put every single one of them on backwards.
That's what happened to David recently.
Right. And I couldn't work out what I did. And so when I probed them out, I finally worked out what I did, right? And I went, oh my God. And I went bang and stabbed the probe right into my head.
Oh my god.
And
That's a new trend, like carving
Freaking God,
lines in
it
your
hurt.
skull.
Sorry? But what?
That's a new trend, carving lines in your skull, so they will show up like a bump on your head.
I don't recommend it, let me tell you. It was, and I thought it was going to get like tetanusy or something, but maybe the gold tips were, I don't know, like it was good. Yeah, anyway, it didn't get infected, but it's taking some time to heal. Yeah.
You should,
Don't
put some,
recommend it.
you should put some flux on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we're all sending you our thoughts and prayers at this difficult time. They always work.
Yep.
So,
everyone on the chat is saying that you probed yourself.
I probed myself.
So, chat, I think we're coming up to the time where we start wrapping this thing up because it's like 10:30. And we usually do. How long does this thing go? I mean, we can go a bit longer, can't we? Anyway, chat, do you have any questions for anyone? I probably should have asked this earlier because there's a little bit of a delay, not much of one.
People are asking if I check what the meter said when I had the probe in my head. Firstly, I didn't leave it in the head. I pulled it out straight away. And no, I really wasn't focusing on what was on the meter screen. It really wasn't.
There's no continuity.
There was no continuity. Nothing. Did not be. No.
0 ohms.
Right. Well, has anyone got anything else to talk about?
We've got a Christmas gift idea for hardware nerds.
Oh,
top 10, but that's top 10 from all of us would be a lot. That's from XO-ROM.
Oh, nice. That is a great question. I will tell you what what I'm trying to find for myself for my own Christmas gift. It's a clamp meter, an AC and DC current clamp meter. There's like the Uni-T one. I think Adam's
it's my
got
favorite one. It's my favorite one.
Well, I found a new one, which is an AC 91 or AMC 91, and it's cheaper than the Uni-T, and it does the same thing. It's got a 1 milliamp resolution. Yeah, it's like under £30.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So, but obviously, I've never seen anyone else with it.
How
so
good could it be for under £30?
How good can it be?
Yeah.
That can be all right. My best meter is a Uni-T, and that's incredibly accurate. It matches a Fluke in terms of accuracy. I can't say that it would be great over time. It might drift. It also isn't as durable as a Fluke, and you can send that back to get repaired. There's lots of guarantees, but the Uni-T has none of that. But if you're prepared just to have pretty good accuracy, then one of those is probably fine, I think.
Okay.
But for me, that's what I'm looking for Christmas.
That's cool, yeah.
I mean, I don't have to look for it much. I know it's there. I just can't. I hate spending money, so just can't press buy.
Yeah, it's £30 is like £1,000 Australian dollars, so that's at the moment anyway. Yeah.
The other thing I think is like super. I'm a paper person, so I like to write quite a lot. So I've got one of these like little weird tablets you write on, LCD tablets. But the problem is you have to erase it quite regularly because you start filling the thing up. But there's this tablet available at the moment. It's been around for like a couple of years, I think. It's called the Remarkable tablet. RE Markable. And it's an e-paper display, and you can write on it. There's no latency when you're drawing on it, and it looks incredible, saves your stuff into little PDFs and things. That's the other. I'm literally in love with it.
Wow.
I just keep looking at reviews online. It's terrible, but it's like £400.
Oh,
you know what does very similar?
But it feels like
a pad and a pen.
Yeah, but I really dislike having wasted paper all over the shop, and it's so hard to organize as well. So I tried writing on an iPad, and I don't like pen on glass, like the feel of it. And so I tried one of those like screen covers where it's like a matte sort of feel, and it feels a bit like paper. It doesn't really work like that. And then also it's a tablet that does everything a tablet does, and I kind of like, if I'm writing on something, I want to be away from technology mostly. So this little tablet feels like paper, apparently, according to all these people. So that's my other one. I'll let
How
other
much,
people.
how much is it? $400.
400 quid, yeah. But
so
you can.
that other one you've got, the one you just held up, you
That
can
was
buy
a
them in
tenner.
China for like $7, right?
Yeah.
You can buy like 20 of those and not
And
have
they're
to
just- Yeah, but then I'm just like sorting through a stack of LCD displays. But you can also like email it out to people. It stores it on in the cloud. Like it's really easily to
Ooh,
search
cloud.
and stuff. It does
Does it have AI options?
it does optical character recognition, so that
Oh
you
yeah,
can.
with AI.
It does all of that, and you can also copy and paste from pages, move things around. I think it's pretty ace.
Does it have blockchain?
I was going to say blockchain.
I have no idea. I don't like the cloud function at the moment because it's their proprietary thing. It doesn't link to like Google or anything, so it's just a bit crappy. Anyway, that's what I'm going for as a gift. But
Wow.
Steve,
What would I get? I am actually looking probably for a hot air reflow station. I think the cheap 9.8 something D.
the AO. Yeah,
that's the one.
That thing.
988D.
Yes, the one. That seems like a nice cheap thing. That's kind of like the next step when you want to start working on smaller things and you want to reflow boards. I think I've got to the point where all I've got is a soldering iron, and I want to do some S&D stuff. Where do I go with I want to get a toaster oven. I want to get Seon's reflow master board. But like as a next step, I think it'd be good to get just a hot air station just to work with. A good tip though that I found out doing my Christmas lights is a hot air gun, like an actual, the hot air gun for doing like heat shrink and cable wrapping. So I've been using like lighters and candle lighters, and you think that works? Yeah, I thought it worked, and then I actually got a hot air gun, and so you hold it up, and then you put your wire across it, and oh my god, the heat shrink just it sucks to it and it shrinks. He's like, wow, this stuff actually. I just thought I had crap heat shrink, but no, you actually put proper heat on it, and it actually works. So yeah, if you
I
think
use my hot air station for heat shrinking stuff all the time.
yeah, I had no idea how bad using lighters and candle lighters was. You think it works, it doesn't. It just kind of warms it. Yeah. So if you want to get something to push yourself up to the next level, just get hot, and then you can use it for everything else. You got 3D prints, you can get rid of all your wispy bits, and you can do your DIY. And
It's actually amazing how versatile a hot air gun is.
yeah,
For sure.
get one of those. They're like £20-30 in Aldi.
Just do it.
Has anyone else got some present ideas?
Do it now.
I mean, save your money is my best bet. Just save it. I mean, who knows what next year's going to bring? It could just be or more of the same.
Yeah,
you probably need that cash.
I'm currently going the route of ordering like super cheap soldering irons from AliExpress and testing them. So this was one that I got recently. It is $17 and it's 10 watts from USB. So it's like a portable soldering iron. And I thought that would be crap, but actually, even though it's a conical tip that's by default delivered, you can like get for 25 with all the different tips. And I was able, in the motel room, soldering like a badge with SMD stuff and even like super thick connectors without any problems. So the only thing that I had where I had like a huge ground plane, and that was I still was able to solder it, but that was like this thing here. So I'm surprised how cheap you can go with like a starter or a mobile soldering iron. So I could stop like with that. But I also ordered like soldering iron for $1 or something. So
That's going to be high quality, that one. I don't know.
What do you reckon that's going to be?
Well,
Jeez, it's like
one-
mains electricity straight into just some wire on the end. That's it.
a resistor.
Yeah.
So something that goes to like 400 degrees time for $1 that you hold in your hand. Yeah, no.
That sounds amazing.
There was one of those videos on YouTube where it's like, top 5 electronic hacks, and one of them was they got a razor blade, like the square razor blade. They attached wires to it and put it into water to make it into a kettle element.
Oh my
There you
lord!
go, free hot
Those
water.
videos are awful.
It's like, are you insane? Yeah, do that and die. Have a cup of tea as your last drink. He was like, oh, that's really clever. Yeah.
They always use a razor blade as well. Have you noticed? There's always a razor blade involved. Like I saw a vegetable chopping one would have a razor blade, but like this vegetable chopping thing where they hot glued a razor blade onto a spinning disc attached to a drill.
Perfect. I don't see any issue with that.
Oh gosh, incredible.
Speaking of, sorry, Liz.
Oh no, go on. Go on, Steve.
Speaking of blades, I
Blades.
should be getting my maker knife in the mail anytime soon.
What's
Did
a
you get
maker
one?
knife?
Maker knife. It is a knife for makers, essentially. It was it's done by Jacko whatever he's called. They did a
Googling this.
Kickstarter. It's basically it's a knife designed for makers. It uses Stanley blades, but it has a very cool.
Does it have a hot air station included?
Oh, is it the one
No.
Big Clive's got? It looks a bit like it.
It's like
He probably does.
it's kind of stealth.
Oh my
looking.
god, it kind of looks a bit evil looking, like a switchblade type deal.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's got the open and close mechanism. You can just flick it open and close with your thumb, with your finger. But when it locks, you can actually stab with it.
Chat,
it's
if
cool.
you don't know what this is, I've just posted a link in the chat area so you can all see how terrifying this looks.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's like a cigar chopper, isn't it? Well, it sort of looks a bit
Oh, okay. Oh,
So when it
looks like a guillotine.
when it flicks out, that's the actual knife. You can use it as a knife. But
the
then
knife can stop a hammer, apparently.
So how much did that cost you? How much?
Not much. It was like £30, something like that.
That's kind of a lot for
Well, yeah, it's a lot for a knife, but it uses Stanley blades, so it's you reuse the actual Stanley blades, or you can get really sharp ceramic ones.
Seon,
For
are you going to do the
money,
line? Are you going to do the
money, you
line?
can equip a
that's-
complete electronics lab from AliExpress.
That's not a knife.
Oh yeah, no, Seon's going to do that line.
What?
He's not going to.
No, I'm
You missed that.
thinking to myself, what would happen if I had it in my hand, looped in my finger, and I went, oh no! That's my problem, right?
That's not a knife.
I don't know.
And then he pulls something out. Seon's
It does
ruined
look really cool.
Time's
Like,
gone.
The black looks good, but that's a lot of money.
One of the guys gave a talk about how they manufactured it at a maker fair last May.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
like
really? That's
it's
cool.
the second batch. They've done it in batch processing, but they've had an absolute nightmare. So it's it's what do you call it? Ionized aluminium.
It also
Word.
says ceramic
Anodized.
blades.
Yeah, so because it takes Stanley blades, which is the square triangle, universal blade, but you can get ceramic blades, which essentially, as long as you don't cut anything heavy duty, they'll stay sharp.
All right, so that's the
Definitely.
virtue of having a ceramic blade is that it doesn't dull.
Doesn't
Yeah.
dull. Yeah.
And if you use it, if you're like a sushi master, it doesn't taint anything. If you,
And they're $100 a blade. Yeah.
yeah, they're expensive.
So
But
I bought myself a bit of tech for Christmas, but it's not maker tech, but it's still tech. I'm just putting a link to it now in a Kickstarter. I bought my kids myself one of the
Cue everyone clicking on the link.
Powerup.
Where is
It's
it?
not for kids.
The
Oh,
Powerup.
nice. Yeah, I've wanted
Oh,
one of those.
I just clicked something. I'm sorry. I don't know how to undo that. Hang on.
So,
I was trying to click on the link. There we go. Sorry. I can't click on it. You'll have to describe it in really great detail.
so it's a thing that you connect to a paper airplane, and it gives you a remote control airplane.
I've seen these.
on the
Yes.
phone. So this guy, this is his 4th version and his 4th Kickstarter, and every single Kickstarter he's done, I've wanted to back it, but I talked myself out of it because it's not cheap. But he's been refining it, and this version 4, it's insane. The functionality of what he's got, And it comes with kits where you can build all sorts of different types of airplanes just out of paper, and then you attach the thing and you can fly them.
Is it called Powerup 4.0?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'm looking at the right thing.
The 4th version, yeah. It's so yeah, it wasn't cheap. I can't remember how much it cost me. Well, hang on, let me find out. Does it tell me? View pledge. Yeah, I got it was $100 because it comes with 2. So I figured I get one each for the kids, but what it really means is one for me and one for the kids. And they'll break theirs and I'll get to keep mine. And it comes with a stand, and you get 10 additional paper plane templates, so you can make different planes with and stuff. It's really cool.
Does
Anyway,
it have a camera?
Sorry?
Has it got a camera on it?
Yes.
Wow.
And you can,
That's insane. How do they fit all that in there?
actually, no, I don't know if does it have a camera? Yeah, I think it might have.
It looks like on the app, it looks like it's got a camera.
Yeah. So what's nice about this is you can fly, like I can put the app on my kids' iPads. They've got an iPad each, and so they can fly it themselves. Hopefully we won't lose them. But they look really cool. It's a really clever bit of tech. So, and also it's like at one point, like if they get damaged, I want to pull it apart, see what's inside. But they're too expensive to do a pull apart. But anyway, that's pretty cool. That's what I got myself.
That is cool. Liz, do you have any insights on paper planes or tech? Made any good paper planes? What's your favorite design? In fact, we could all get a bit of paper right now and figure out. Hang on a minute. I don't have any paper. Looney's already on it. Here he goes. Does anyone have paper?
Don't know.
Oh, fine. Go on then, Liz. Tell me what you'd buy. What's your tech number one tech present of this Christmas?
The new Prusa mini printer looks pretty cool.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you on that.
If
What do you like about it?
I like the new design, and they seem to be getting some really smooth prints out of it. If I got one, which I don't have space for it, but I'd set up with the 0.2 nozzle, so it'd be really small detail. That's what I'd use it for. But yeah, it looks pretty cool how they've like shrunk everything down, and I think it's 32-bit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go up 32-bit color screen, which is nice.
Yeah.
And
It's
it
also
looks like
cheap.
it's not, or it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. It doesn't look like it's going to be stable. Like the way visually it's constructed.
Right. Yeah.
Like you've got to think to yourself, how could that possibly have the precision and not wobble or flex? But apparently it's fantastic. And
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it. Thomas Solander did a thing on YouTube where he was looking at it, and it looked great when it was printing. It looked awesome. Yeah, when I replace Bessie, Bertha
My first
over here.
car was named Bessie.
So in the UK we've got this cartoon thing called Bertha, and it's like this machine that would make loads of things. So that's why mine's called Bertha. But I would absolutely go for the Mini. Like it looks incredible. It's fairly cheap for the build platform size that you've got. Like mine is 14 centimeters. It might even be 12, which is tiny in comparison to that, which is like, is it 20?
No, it's 12, the new one.
Yeah, it's small.
12 by
Hang on a
12 by
minute.
12.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the normal Prusa is 20 by 20 by 25 high.
Maybe someone from Prusa is watching this stream, so you
be wrong. I'll be wrong.
details in the description, so you can set us up with Prusa. Yeah,
I
I'm
was
showing
sure it was bigger than that.
We are showing.
No, it is bigger than that. You guys are wrong.
What is it, 15?
It's 18 by 18 by 18.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So it's big, like 7 inches by 7 inches by 7 inches.
That's
It's bigger than mine, and it probably prints better. So, and it takes up less space. It's actually smaller in terms of volume than mine too. So yeah, I think
I need a bigger one. I want a Prusa Mark III Max.
yeah.
like-
He hinted about his next one's going to be a Core XY Cube.
yeah, he did say it's going to be
Yeah.
big, didn't he?
Yeah.
So what is
Probably like
what is the
300.
normal Prusa in terms of size of build volume?
22 by 22, but if you get really close to the edges, you start getting a bit of weirdness. Like I've never been able to print bigger than maybe 20 by 20 by whatever high. So
that's mental.
Yeah.
It's still a lot
But
bigger than mine.
It's still quite an expensive printer for the mini. It's still $300 and odd. Where you always compare it to like the Crealities, and if you get an Ender 3, if you get it on offer, it's like 150, 170 pounds. It's ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of seduced by the whole Prusa thing. It's all the investment in technology that they've made and developing in their software and firmware and that. I kind of think that's where the money's going.
Yeah, it's more of a
the built-in auto bed leveling, and just like I just print every time reliable. You know, just like the only times I ever have an issue is if I've got a filament issue, like if it's I've left it out and it's a bit too moist or whatever. But other than that, like reliability.
Yeah.
Like if the Mini has the same reliability as the Mark III, like you can't go wrong. Like it's worth the extra investment in my mind.
And no shortcuts with like the power stuff either.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're not getting like a crappy power supply that's going to burn your house down or anything.
Yeah. You have to mod it, and you don't have to. Like I've never cleaned or anything mine. I probably should, but it just works. It's a workhorse. So
yeah, there's two. I think there's two types of 3D printers. People, and it's those who want to print and those who want to build a 3D printer.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or tinker. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm in the build camp. It's like I'm just constantly trying to make my printer better for no reason whatsoever. Whereas some days I get so frustrated, and it's like I just want a printer that just prints. And then when it does work, it's like, wow, I wonder what I could do to make it better.
No. I need to print when I need to print, and I don't. Yeah, for me, it's the tool. It's not the project.
Yeah.
And I totally get it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Julian says, my 3D printer uses UV glue and a UV LED. So it's just like layering it up. Electron Ash says, I'd be worried about leaving the printer on overnight. Yeah, I kind of am worried about that. I've gone out before. I went to the pub, left the thing going, came back, and then there was just a massive plastic moving around on the on the head of the printer. Nothing stuck to the bed. That was grim.
I leave my printer going all night, all the time.
Yeah, I would do that if I had a good 3D printer. I've got this flash forward bit of nonsense that was great like 2 years ago, but it's now a bit of a waste of space in here. I rarely use it.
You definitely learn to know your printer, and it's kind of like an adolescent child. You can leave it for longer and longer times, and eventually you can go out all night, and it won't burn the house down.
I'm still nervous to do that. I don't know. I just don't.
Well, you had the thermal runway issue, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like anything. You can buy a
right.
$1 million car and have problems with it, and you can buy a $8,000 car and never have a day's problem with it. Like it's just because it's a Prusa doesn't mean it's not going to fail or not going to have.
You just leave it in a room with tiles where it can't like burn your house down or anything. I did that. So when I let it like in the where we have like the heating room where the oven is, so I leave it there and it prints. I have still this old MK2 and it's super loud and has its issues, but yeah, I should also think about upgrading. The MK3 has this smooth stepping drivers. That's such an improvement.
Yeah. But you can buy a kit and upgrade it. You don't have to like replace the printer.
Yeah, you can rewatch my stream where I built the MK2 kit. So upgrading that would be another 10 hours of work. So
I know I built my Mark III and I never again. Like I'm never buying a kit printer.
Yeah, you do it once.
Yeah, you do it once for the experience. It's like you get shot once just to know what.
I repair it and upgrade it every time.
But you also bought a pick and place machine that you need to build.
Yeah, that was a stupid move, wasn't it?
That's something else. Yeah.
No, it's the same. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Speaking of which, have you finished building it yet? No.
Oh no, but there is a LuniCon coming up, and I will.
What's LuniCon? Is this where your mate comes over and he's like in indentured servitude to you, building your stuff?
No, I just invited Aaron again, so he asked if I.
Hey, dude, do you want to come hang out? Yeah, we'll just have a really great time. Yeah, whatever.
Poor Aaron. Poor
No,
Aaron.
and then I asked like in the group, so anyone is welcome of you guys that I know like here personally, and so Dave, Dago comes, and Aaron. Brian unfortunately couldn't make it this time, so it's like a mini con here, and yeah, we will probably do something with the pick and place and do a little bit nerdy coding or something.
Well, bitluni's going to post his address in the chat, everyone. If you could bring a sleeping bag and your own food, then you'll be welcome to stay.
Bring something to drink.
Maybe if Aaron's there, he'll remind you to turn your microphone on this time. When you.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. No, but the pick and place machine is almost finished.
It's almost finished.
Just calibrating the one camera, and then we can just start doing stuff. Yeah, I wasn't here for the past 2 weeks, so I couldn't proceed with that. But now.
Ooh. But what about your elves? You could have got your elves doing it.
Yeah, Aaron. It will be cool. So maybe Lunicon will get a thing. So every year, and more like makers like you will visit me if you like.
I mean, Seon's about 1 million miles away, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a long way to travel, but yeah, one day.
Yeah, you can stay for a night. That's okay.
Well, that'll definitely make it worthwhile. Sure.
Hey, when is that Maker Faire in Germany? When is that happening? Is it Berlin?
Yeah, it's Berlin is like end of April or the beginning of May. I'm not sure. Usually, I could just check it. No, Discord is closed. It will just start echoing again if I start it.
I think there's some people chatting in the Discord about it, so it might be something I end up coming along to. Maybe let's see if I can organise it. So, are there any other questions from the chat? Has anyone else been looking to see if they have? I've just been laughing a bit too much, unfortunately.
Same.
Oh yeah, everyone's chatting away. No more questions. Other than I should buy some new headphones.
No, those look beautiful. I love them.
And they smell amazing.
Like bubblegum?
Oh, Rob E has asked, David Watts, who's running the 5th of January MC, Master of Ceremonies Makercast, I guess. Would anybody here like to volunteer?
Yeah.
One.
First one of the year, Looney? You in?
Yeah,
Season 2, Makercast. Bigger, better.
Just the first one of season 2. But if anyone like urgently wants to host it, I would also.
Oh, Liz, you could host. Come on. All you need to do is a little bit of the jazz hands, and that's it.
But we also.
Oh, yeah, Steve, have you hosted?
Yeah, I've done one. I did.
Everybody's hosted except for Liz, so it's Liz.
I hosted.
Did you?
Oh, look at that anger. You were in trouble. So I will be doing some making things over because I get like 2 weeks off over Christmas, which is going to be amazing. So I'll have made some stuff. So I'll come on the next one.
Yeah, everyone's read that now. You know what's going to happen?
I'll do nothing at all.
And he hasn't done anything.
Sit at home, play computer games, and that's it. Yeah, I imagine.
It's always the way, isn't it? 2 weeks seems like such a long time, and then
I know. Then I'm like half cut most of the time, playing computer games the rest of the time. Oh well, half cut. Probably. Does everyone know what that means, or is that a British thing?
I figured.
Yeah. All right, good.
I can infer.
It means really happy to be off work. That's what that means.
Half a bottle. Happy.
All right. I think we're going to wrap this up now. It has been about an hour and a half, so thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. It's goodbye from me, and that's the cue.
And it's good.
Yeah,
and it's goodbye from him.
I can't believe I forgot Liz hosted. I was on that Makercast, and I totally forgot. Sorry, Liz.
You monster.
It's okay. It's all right.
Bad memory. I'm getting old.
That's it. Head injury. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
True. That's very true.
Right, synchronized waving engaged. Bye, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you next month in
Thanks,
the new
David.
year,
Thanks for hosting.
2020.
Yes, thank you, David.
Everybody have a good
Bye.
Christmas.
End broadcast.